Hey there, and welcome to the installation guide for the Honda generator EU 7000 IS or 6500 IS into the specialized four-wheel cart. Yeah, so on to the easy part, putting it in the cart. Let's see here. So before you put gas in this thing, or at least half a tank, no more than half a tank, you're going to want to lean it on 3 2x4s like that, or a stack of 2x4s so that it's leaned back. Pretty steep degree. Make sure you put the brakes on so those are not moving and spinning. It's weird that these have brakes on them and they're on. And then it's a matter of working this thing onto here. Once you get it on, make sure your brakes look like that and your wheels, your bottom wheels look like that. That way the brakes don't turn off when you try to flip it up. So you'll want to grab here underneath where the panel is to lift up on it. Looked easy, didn't it? But make sure your wheels are turned out like that with the brakes on before you try to lift it. And that'll work just like that. Yeah, so once you get it in the cart, scoot it forward a little bit. So make sure your brakes are on. Kind of wiggling it. You keep your hands on the outside of the cart while you're doing that. Looks pretty close. It's just a matter of shimming here and there. Alright, let's do this thing. A couple of things you might need. A pad to lay on, or some cardboard. The other thing you might need is a rag. Just kidding, you don't need that, because this one's dirty. So I'm just doing a reinstallation guide. But you will need half-inch socket. Doesn't need to be deep well. It just helps to have a little length. And a couple of half-inch wrenches. If you got the ratchets on them, that's pretty cool. If you don't, no big deal. Alright. This is where the Z-bracket goes. Here. My fingers. Yeah, so I figured out something that I forgot about. This bolt, you can't just slip it in this way. And getting it in here is kind of a pain in the butt. And then trying to get this nut, the nut in place. You take this, put it in here, and then you extend your handles out like that, and have someone lift up on it. Or lift up on it yourself. You have a little bit of leverage. It's not super heavy. It's probably about 35, 40 pounds maybe, lifting up like that. And then drop it in place. Voila. And a matter of hopefully you got this in the right spot. Push that up. Out of the way, and then wiggle it back in place and drop it in place. And then the real trick is holding that while you start the nut on the bottom. Once you got it started, it's a matter of just using the wrenches, or using the wrench in the socket to finish it up. I think that's better. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this out, but imagine putting this bolt in, because that's what you'll end up doing. Yeah, taking it out is the same as putting it in. It just threads in. Like so. There's a washer and a lock washer. That's the orientation. Lock washer, then washer, then plate. Should be able to start it finger tight. Once you get the finger tight, tighten it down. I think you get it. It doesn't need to be torqued down super tight. It just needs to be tight enough. You may find after a while this bar will shift a little bit, which I'm gonna make an adjustment on this one specifically, but yeah. I think if you keep cranking down, I think it'll actually stop, but I wouldn't do that. Just take it so there's about an inch gap between the bottom of the generator and the bar itself, and that should be good enough. So yeah, when putting these in, I put both of them in finger tight before tightening them. It's just easier that way. It just hangs a little loose, and then you can adjust it side to side so it's even on both sides. So the bar rests evenly against the frame on both sides. That'll keep it from cross-threading. You don't want to cross-thread it. So you may have noticed I'm doing a lot of this on my back. Kind of sucks, but it's easier. Also, one of the things you can do is make sure you leave your lock off. So you want to hold that down. Hope you're seeing that. Yeah, pull that down so the lock is off. That way you can rotate this thing. And you don't have to move places when you're moving from the Z bracket to the, or from the bottom bracket to the Z bracket. Makes sense, right? I'm good at that. It makes sense sometimes. So, I think that pretty much covers it. If there's any other questions, ask me, and I'll send you an answer.